Oh hey, we sense that you're here.
And we're deeply glad that you came.
Hello and welcome back to Sculk Vibes.
A podcast where we talk about Minecraft and other related topics. My name's Diansu, and I'm here looking in the dark with...
Talon, and today I should have used my previous intro for this episode because goddamn, it would have worked perfectly, dude. We're talking about 2B2T and
the oldest anarchy
Canarchy.
server in Minecraft.
Yes, the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft.
Recent server events?
Recent server events. Have you watched the NoCom video that FitMC put out?
I couldn't get around to it.
Oh
it
my God.
makes
Oh
me
my
forgetting
God.
enough obligations and shit.
Disappointed. Okay, so basically, to sum things up, there was an exploit that basically allowed for Nerds Inc., which is the infamous group that backdoored the server,
Right.
to exploit and literally locate where every single person is at in the world.
Jesus. I heard about the Pop Bob's lightning hack, but never seen it on this.
No,
tier.
this one is very different. And basically, they got the guy who worked on Baritone to help them to make a program where any new chunks that were loaded by people, like for example, if they wanted to see a base being built in real time in this program, they could see it happening.
Right.
And all of it was called NoCom because it was short for no comment.
Hmm.
And that was like the perfect name to disguise a fucking insane exploit.
God, that is fucking insidious.
Yes. It's like Sauron's eye, dude, from Lord of the Rings.
So, from what I understand, basically, and no one is safe from no calm, basically.
No one was safe. It was patched recently.
Oh, that's good.
Because everybody found out about it and then started trying to do their own thing with it, sort of. Except they didn't have it as powerful as Nerds Inc., because Nerds Inc. had the Baritone dude helping them.
Right. Which is already having a fucking god on your side already.
Yeah.
Which is has Baritone fallen out of popularity, or is it just in the same status as it was before?
No, it's pretty much, it's used constantly throughout the server. Like Baritone is an insane I don't know what you would call it, a client probably.
I see, because I'd assume that with teaming up with basically a I guess faction that could basically leak everyone's base, well, at least to me I thought would cause something like a rift or something like that.
NoCom didn't use Baritone, they just had the same programmer that made Baritone. NoCom was completely separate because the thing with that exploit is that the server checks if a player is loading a chunk, and if the chunk is not loaded, then the server replies back saying that the player is in this certain chunk. Something like that. And that basically helped reveal where everyone was all the time on the server. And it was, I don't know, man. It was very powerful. So for the past 3 years, everybody's bases has been compromised, essentially.
So, I'd assume since I haven't heard as much of a firestorm about it, I'd assume no bases were leaked. At least major bases were leaked.
A lot of bases were leaked. Yes.
Oh shit.
Most of the large bases that you've probably seen FitMC talk about within the past 3 years, most of them have been a result, or a good amount of them have been the result of NoCom. Like the Niflheim Ice Dragon base. That's a good example.
I remember. I faintly remember hearing about that. I still cannot get over how they built that thing.
I don't know, man. Baritone is very useful for building stuff too. Like building stuff and traveling is the main use of Baritone.
Fair.
Not as much PvP wise, but yeah.
I have heard like he made like a video like about like bots invading 2BTT. Didn't like a squadron of baritone bots like massacre some guy though?
I don't know. Maybe that was baritone. I wouldn't be surprised. But again, it was like multiple bots against one dude. If it were one bot by itself and
Oh
its
yeah, the bot would be
player,
destroyed.
it PvP is better in a scenario where the player is in control and knows what strategies to use against the other player that they're fighting, right?
Yeah, as far as I know, like bots have kind of harder time navigating around that, at least for now.
Yeah.
Say with no com, right? So from what I understand, you can basically like just figure out where bases are, right?
Yes.
My question is, if you had access to this, what bases would you visit? Like what areas like are on your I guess you could like bucket list of
Ugh.
like I want to see this.
Oh. I'd probably. I don't know. That's a good
Hmm.
fucking question. I'd probably want to see Bodekin. That one is a very nice base.
If Nocom had what's it called like time traveling client installed, I would want to visit Asgard 1 and 2 to see what kind of destruction like what kind of base that when destroyed would cause such a calamity as like the like first incursions. Because they kind
Oh
of
yeah.
lost track of incursions. The wording like incursion right beforehand was like extremely like intimidating right, but now they've kind of lost to gravity in a way.
Yeah, very much. Another recent thing that's been happening with 2B is that Housemaster, the server owner of 2B, has been has been running a test server for 1.16, which
I have
seems
heard.
very promising, at least right now, that the server might update after
Oh,
its
fun.
hiatus of I don't know how many years now.
It's been stuck in 1.12 purgatory for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Man, how many features? Like I went back to 1.12, right, and I realized how many features I just realized I don't miss yet miss at the same time. Like apparently, before 1.12, the only type of door like a trapdoor you had were oak,
Right.
and you didn't have stuff like dark prismarine stairs or slabs. Which sounds crazy in hindsight.
I don't know. I feel like 1.14 and 1.13 were really good in that aspect because 1.13 added the wood variants for trapdoors, and then the new stairs and walls and everything just added so much to building in
Right.
1.14.
Hmm. I'm trying to think like what is some other like feature that I didn't realize I really missed? Watercolor, I guess. With 1.12 water, I didn't realize it's all like 1.12 water is like all this like off shade of like lapis blue. So that's
Yeah.
another thing I missed.
I did kind of like how dark the water got, like really quickly, because it, like back in 1.12,
You have like
except
a
in
base now.
1.13, because of like the like how usable or no how livable it is now in the oceans.
Yeah,
It makes sense for them to add
you
clear
would.
water, but I think some sort of aspect with like darker, murkier water for like
Maybe for
maybe a
deep
certain
oceans.
deep, like a deep ocean biome would be really
Yeah.
nice.
Back to 2BTT.
Yeah, back to
Uh,
2B2T, not updates.
yeah.
Ugh.
I've heard about this place called Radamantis. It seemed like a really, like, I guess, primitive type base. It used, like, mainly cobblestone and stuff. But it still has this majesty to it, even when if it is, like, really, really basic color palette-wise.
Huh. I've never heard of that.
Hmm.
I
I think
have
it's, like,
seen smaller bases though, that that with very not so friendly names attached to
yes, yes.
them.
God, actually, like, remember the Crystal Islands thing, right?
No, I don't.
Oh, basically, MC did this tour of, like, a base called the Crystal Islands. They were, at the time, they looked really cool, but in hindsight, at least from my memory, they weren't as good as I remember.
Huh.
And I think like when it got leaked, there was like an entire small firestorm over it.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, they're like cosms of the 2B22 community that like you could never realize were there, right?
Right. That's why I love Tubi because it just shows potential for just like how technical people can really get on such a large server, and figure out every little niche thing about the game's mechanics and how to abuse them. Like, I just love that.
Oh yeah, like one of those like immortality machines, which like just like one of those things that like, when you hear it in like the right context, it just sounds kind of unsettling. Like 2B2T immortality machine. That sounds like horrific.
Yeah, except that was like a rare, very rare occurrence that just happened at the right time in the right moment, which was that is scary to think about, that someone was able to do that because of a mishmash of server plugins and lag.
Yeah, even, like a lag based immortality machine. That sounds like some like Dr. Frankenstein shit right there.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Live forever using the power of server plugins being mixed up with lag.
I feel like that would be easily imagine the person is like gets their immortality, right? Yes, I am God amongst these people, and then server owner, house master just comes, is like, haha, no, kills,
just flies to him, plows the machine.
kill said player. Fuck, they're gone, they're dead, no more immortality, gone.
Dust. I've always wanted an explanation for that Bible bot thing, where it just like recites Bible verses in the hellhole that is 2B2T.
Oh, I feel like I've heard of that. I don't know.
It's like I think it's like slash Bible. Like you had to like say something, and like a Bible bot will recite some random Bible verse or something like that.
That's funny. Oh my god.
Man.
I mean, yeah, that would be super easy to or not easy, but that's actually cool. I like that. Because then if it's like, oh, you need to refer back to a certain thing for like a project that you want to imitate on the server, then you're like, oh, what's this part of the Bible have? And then the Bible bot's like, so blah 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 verse yada yada, and then you're like, oh, so that's how the story went. Now I can make this little reference in my build or whatever the fuck you want to do.
And Jesus said to the Romans, get better.
Get better.
That's my favorite verse.
Jesus said to the Romans, get better.
Just get better.
Get better.
This is most like I don't even know. It's like a mix between both a motivation and an insult.
Oh my god.
Motivating insult. That is a genre of
a
language.
Motivating insult. What the fuck?
Like think about it, right? It's like insults, but they're also motivating.
Those are for sadists. Or which one is it? Is it a sadist?
I think sadists are people who take pain from other people's pain. I think masochists are people who take pleasure from their own pain.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Those people are fucking masochists.
Thinking.
Stop thinking. Be slow.
Diving down into my thoughts.
Do not rush through it, or else we'll have a very short episode.
Fair. I'm trying to dive down into my thoughts, except it's not that deep. It's like diving. Yeah, it's like diving into a kiddie pool.
I'm diving in the salt flats in the middle of Utah.
Very salty.
Very salty.
Okay, I need to know. Have you ever licked a Himalayan salt lamp? Have you ever just like seen one at a store and just like slightly licked one?
I can do that right now. Hold up.
Oh. I can hear. Oh god, there he goes.
It's very salty.
Oh.
It's
oh
salt.
god.
God
yeah,
damn.
I have water on you.
That's salty.
Alright,
God.
I need to take notes of very salty lamps.
Runs into other room, licks lamp. Oh!
Runs out. Man. I wonder how many people have done that though. Like theoretically, okay. So let's say there are like 5 salt lamps on sale, right? And everyone like 1 out of 4 people that pass it.
But there's 5 lamps.
Yes.
5 lamps, but 1 out of 4 people. What the fuck? Do you mean 1 out of 5 people?
Like 1 out of 4 people decide to lick the lamps. Like 1 of the 5 lamps. I'm not great with math.
You're confusing me. It would have made sense if it were like 5 lamps or 1. No, it's 1 lamp, right? You don't need 5 lamps. It's
no,
1
5
lamp.
Lamps are for sale.
1 out of the 4 people might lick the lamp.
Alright, that's fair, that's fair. and there are 20 people, so then there'll be like 5 people licking a lamp. My question is, could you lick the lamp away? Like, theoretically, let's say we just got like a bunch of people
Oh God,
into the
that'd be
store.
super bad for you.
Probably. All the cross-contamination, but hey, we destroyed one lamp by licking it away.
I don't know. Maybe if you had like a vat of just a big thing full of human saliva, stuck the salt lamp in there, will the enzymes break it down over time? I don't know.
Probably. You also get a nice soup at the end.
You fuck. That's okay.
God.
Never mind. Let's move on. That's
Yeah, fair.
What the fuck?
Oh, God. Saliva. No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say.
Stop. Just
viewers
stop
is-
right there. We don't need to go further. Oh my
All right.
God. Okay. Have you heard of well, you know what crystal PvP is, obviously, right?
Yes. It's like you place down an end crystal and like the end crystal will block and blow people up with it.
Yeah. You typically that's on the bedrock floor because it's varied in terms of spaces where you can like sit and not take any damage and kill people on different levels. You know, because crystals, how crystals work for those who don't know, how end crystal PvP works. They obviously duplicate a bunch of these, so they have a bunch at their disposal. When they use a end crystal, the explosion, how that works is that anything that is on the same level as the explosion, so if your feet are where you take the damage, or is where you take the damage, if your feet are on the same level as the end crystal, you will immediately die, or like pop your totem. That's the phrase. They pop your totem if you're holding a totem.
Right.
Otherwise, if you're a block below the initial explosion, you will take significantly less damage. Or if you place a block in front of you, you'll take significantly less damage. But
my question is, like, with this, how heavy? Like, because I assume people would exploit the hell out of this. Like, how insane do exploits get over there?
well, I'm about to get to a very key point here. Let me continue. So, end crystal PvP. End crystals can only be placed on 2 blocks: obsidian and bedrock. Bedrock is very useful when you're PvPing at like on the bedrock floor, where it's just a nice area for that type of PvP. However, in 1.16, you can now the reason why you wouldn't be able, like, people don't really PvP on the normal surface and use obsidian is because you would have to place the obsidian block down
and they can get
at the same level as where the person's standing. And usually if you're on a flat ground, you would have to break the block first, and you don't really have enough time to do that.
Right.
But now in 1.16 they added respawn anchors. Now, the thing with respawn anchors, if you place one down and put glowstone in it, and you right-click it, just like a bed in the nether, it explodes. And it does a shit ton of damage. However, this in combination with end crystals, the respawn anchor launches the player by a couple blocks when it explodes, meaning you get the player into the air at a level where you can then use an end crystal immediately after and kill them. That is called butterflying. Or butterfly and rainbow, whatever the technique is. I saw it from a video that these PvPers were using. It's insane. So now you gotta be aware of people actually chasing you down and killing you with end crystals on the surface more than necessarily like having a long battle on the bedrock floor.
Right. Oh, so wait, I'm trying to remember. Isn't it like that, like certain areas of the bedrock floor have like a ceiling of like the cobblestone over it, right? Which is like the surface.
Yeah, I think so.
And imagine, like, because the way, like, you know, respawn anchors explode, where they also blow up stuff below them. So theoretically, you just, like, have the ground from underneath you be just blown up, and then just fall down there. And unless you have, like, a totem or...
It would be it would be a bit of a while. It's more respawn anchors and crystals together. The butterfly stuff is more for like a flatter terrain on the surface.
I see.
It's less so with very rocky and causing your opponent to fall into the ground when they're... Yeah, just for other purposes, you know? Alright, I think it's time to move on to our fun segment that we thought of on the spot.
No way.
Because it was actually a good idea.
Fun in this channel? Impossible. Oh god.
Welcome to the 2B2T Wiki segment, where we both, myself and Diansu, chose... Well, we went to the wiki page for 2B2T.
Of course.
And we decided to hit random page. And whatever random page we landed on... Actually, let me open up the 2B2T wiki. Whatever random page we came across, we would have to learn about the page and tell the other person about what we learned from that random page. So we chose our pages yesterday, as of the time of recording. Your page was...
map art.
Yeah, you got map art, and then I got Armor Smith's followers. Would you like to go first?
Well, I'll go first. Okay, so from what I understand, map art is exactly what it says, since you know how when you open a map, it displays the immediate terrain around you? Well, yes. You can kind of like exploit that so that you can basically create an extremely large canvas, right, and like draw stuff on that canvas. And then when you open like your map, it will show, instead of like the landscape, like whatever you built or drew, which I'm just gonna use drew for this context for the most part.
Okay. So
from what I understand, right, for the longest time, the map art was pretty much untouched. You could like dupe it and stuff, and for the most part, they were described as flat maps, which, from what I understand, do not use like basically the color on the maps varies not only just on block but on altitude. So for the longest time, since this altitude feature seemingly wasn't in, like most map art was flat, right? You know, no terrain elevation, no levels and stuff, right? But after a while, when leveling was introduced, apparently, like then you could actually like what's the word? Get more color and variety, right?
Right, shades.
And for the most part, this whole dichotomy was for the most part fine, right? But then, apparently, this group known as can I say a particular R word that a silly mustache man used?
Regarded.
Regard. Okay. So apparently, it's a different R word.
Never mind.
The fourth kingdom. I'm gonna say kingdom.
Oh.
Yeah, that word that begins with an R that was used by a silly mustache man. Apparently, what they did was they used duplication glitches to make a lot more maps, right?
Yeah.
Except there's an issue. Apparently there's only a finite amount of maps allowed, and apparently the number is 32,767.
Right. And from what I believe, I'm gonna cut in a little bit. Because of that limit, the server has to wipe all the maps, and so any maps that have been created will not last because they get duplicated so much, and then the item number just goes off and goes up.
Never really understood why that number in particular. Do you have any idea?
Probably an integer limit, something, whatever the fuck.
So then, like, basically all maps were wiped out, right? Which causes an issue, or basically this process will go faster over time. It's like exponential almost, but like slow exponential, I guess is the best way to describe it. So maps have a slower and slower lifespan, basically.
Yeah.
So then, a while after was like, what happened was this guy named Kinorama, who was described as quote unquote a traitor. I'm assuming like a guy who like traded map arts and stuff, right?
I think Kinorama is like a well-known player that does a lot of PvP shit.
What he did was he made a map art, right? And it was like this anime themed one. And what he did was somehow he like replaced all other maps on the server with this. So all maps on the server were anime. And this caused a small crisis, a little bit of uproaring, you know? Just an up tweets, I guess, since we're always loud. So then, I think Hinorama tried to undo this beforehand. Basically, like he tried to contact Housemaster before he did it. Housemaster didn't really reply. So now, most of the maps have been animated.
Okay, actually, I want to say something real quick. Do you know what's funny?
Hmm?
2B2T got me into anime.
No way, no way. I don't believe it.
I think I'll explain it a little bit more once we talk about our backstories on 2B. But when I joined my group, basically we were named after an anime kinda like, and
Right.
then I was like, oh, I want to see the anime, and then I watched it, and then I got into anime.
Holy shit. And well, with the little tweet of uproar, right? People started like sending death threats to him, and apparently, you know how I mentioned BibleBot, right? The family-friendly robot.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, BibleBot also started sending death threats as well.
Oh no, not the
Yep.
Bible bot.
I just imagine like the entire town is rioting against this man, and like everyone, and it's just like this older priest guy just throws a flaming Bible at him.
Not Bible bot, no.
Yep. Apparently this ended on March 3rd, and after that, there was like a reset, which allowed new maps to be created.
Huh.
And apparently, that's the Kinorama map crisis.
Oh, nice.
I do know
Wait.
with like the
You go ahead.
with the dawn of baritone, map art has kinda shifted from some people like beforehand, before baritone came onto the scene. Map art was rightly regarded as like a true art form, but then baritone came and made map art making much easier, which has kind of led it to fall out of fashion. It changed from like drawing, like and painting and stuff, to like printing basically.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Mm.
Automation shit.
So yeah.
I can just imagine BibleBot, as soon as he started sending death threats, was like, be better, be better, be better.
It's like when Mr. Rogers gets angry at you, basically.
Be better.
He just spams that one particular verse from Boogalations.
Players of 2B, you need to be better.
Be better.
BibleBot is watching you.
BibleBot is always watching.
Oh my god, some big brother shit.
God. Big Bible brother.
I actually have, I read 1984 in school. It was probably one of my favorite books to read as an assigned book. Everything else kind of sucked in terms of books. I didn't like them.
Man.
1984 was very interesting, though. It brought to light some things for me. I now have Animal Farm, like this really old book that my mom used to own of Animal Farm that I'm probably going to read soon. So, also by George Orwell.
I remember someone talked about how they were like reading Animal Farm, and like they mentioned to someone, and the person that they were talking to said, "Why are you reading books for pre-Kers?"
Oh god. Alright, so let me tell you about Armor Smith's followers. Armor Smith was a famous lagging person, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and shit poster. And he basically was like, I want to make my own group. And then he got a bunch of people to just come together and worship him. It was like one of the very first groups to worship an individual. And he wanted to initially call it the Soviet Reunion.
Right.
And so he designed the logo for his group before he actually put it in place. And it was of a hammer and sickle. This is why you see those hammers and sickles everywhere on 2B, because it belongs to the Armor Smith follower group. And he puts that symbol on every build that he has made, or like their group has made. They had a lot of significant small things that they've done. But it's actually one of the largest groups ever on the server, I believe.
How many people? Like 30?
I can get some numbers. Maybe I can't get numbers. The Ant Venom invasion brought hundreds of players to the group, making it one of the largest on 2B2T. Which I came from the Ant Venom invasion. Fun fact. I'm technically an ant, but I survived.
Now you are a wasp.
Now I am wasp. Fuck you. I'm gonna sting.
Man, wasps are horrific.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very neutral in nature.
They just kind of float around, basically.
And then they also built a base or something that the coordinates appear on the message of the day thing on the 2B2T server list.
What, it just sold out or something?
Or of 2B2T, which was named Message of the Day Palace. I don't know. Very, very confusing. Oh, here's another thing. Their hammer and sickle was one of the very first Obsidian Y256 Sky logo things.
Oh yeah, like the spawn mason symbols.
Yeah, so basically they were the first to do it. Then spawn masons made their shit, right? Along with like Imperium and all those other folks.
Right.
They were the first people to do it. Yeah, that's pretty much Armorsmith. There's a few more things that people could read up upon if they wanted to.
You mentioned how you came from 2B2T because of Ant Venom, right?
Yes.
I actually came to 2B2T because of the Camping Rusher. At least, like, learned about it because of the Camping Rusher.
Damn, you're older than I am in terms of 2B2T age, damn.
I am old man.
I don't know, man. Ant Venom period was kind of very, very chill, because it was only, like, up to 200 players in queue, at most, for some days. And it was very nice. I could hop on anytime I wanted to, kind of. I just had to wait a couple hours.
No, with the Camping Rush, right? They were like, because this is when the queue was only like at maximum 100, I think. So like, it was like you had to wait. I was like 1,000th place, or like 1,200th place.
It got up back to 1,000 back when 2019 came around with Etika. Rest in peace.
I remember when I finally joined. Right, I spawned on the middle of like a lava cast. And I looked down, and I saw a diamond block below me, except I dived down, right? It wasn't a diamond block, it was a prismarine block.
Oh?
So I got saved. Let me think. I tried to escape spawn. I think I made it, pretty decently, actually. I remember, like, I saw, like, this little island of grass, the cobblestone ruins, with a single tall tree in it. I mined it, like, a tree, and I got decently far, I'd say. I think I found the ruins of an old base near spawn, and I raided it for iron. Although, then I tried, like, walking away, right, and then I got robbed and killed.
Get fucked. Get fucked.
That was the end of my 2B2T experience, at least, like, for the first time. Actually, I do remember, though, I had a friend, right? I'm gonna call him... what's the name that could fit for him? Because his name or his real name fit pretty well.
Billy No, never mind. Just Billy.
Billy. Okay, Billy. Billy, right? He played on 2B2T, right? And I knew this for sure since he did have a channel, which he did show me. And yeah, the guy like his face matched up to his face, right? Yeah. And he seemed to be pretty well off on 2B2T. He had like diamond and stuff. It was pretty good. He told me some war stories, like, they were kind of vague, but these included, like, various skirmishes and how apparently, like, his team took down, like, a hacker or something. Like, basically, his team took down, like, some guy with much more insane exploits or something like that.
Damn.
It was cool. I think he mentioned, like, trying, like, to invent another flying machine, so, like, Fitz flying machine. He never could get around to it. The man was an engineer. He was apparently, like, working on a mod about solely chickens. And then he accidentally deleted it before it got released.
That's funny. Soul-eating chickens?
Oh no, actually, I'm pretty sure there was like, well, not on Den. I'm pretty sure like the chickens there could probably eat your soul, since he did mention how there was going to be like a 30 block tall chicken and stuff like that. Basically, kaijus.
That's the same chicken that took out the Striders and all Tomorrows. Oh God.
Oh shit. Actually, you want to go on a small tangent about all Tomorrows?
Sure.
What was your favorite post-human? Or actually just like any sapient species in general?
I unironically like how the Gravitals look.
Same, like simple.
Even though they're very idealistic, I really like how they look.
I really like the Soro Sapiens, really.
Soro Sapiens, yes.
Although I've been noticing there are like all tomorrow's post-human sonas.
Oh,
I'm not joking about that one.
A lot of those post-human sonas I've seen are mostly like the snake people and the Satyriacs.
Man, we need to show some appreciation to our shit ogre people, though.
I hate the shit ogre dudes.
Shit ogre people.
Oh, hey, babe.
God. Imagine living in a society that literally was all about shitting and eating garbage.
I hate that. Okay,
God,
I want to move on. We can save that for another day.
Another topic for another day. I think you mentioned, like, he raided a base a few times. I can't remember its name, but it certainly had the silly mustache man from it in its name.
Sal?
No, not Sal, the other silly mustache man. The one that did a lot of bad things.
I don't know who you're referring to.
He's from Germany.
Oh!
Yeah, that one.
Oh!
He raided a base that had that guy's name in it, apparently.
Oh! Okay, I thought you were talking about Sal C1.
No, that is
definitely a different dude. Okay.
That definitely took a turn and did.
Yeah, God. I did not realize that one fucking bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Go on.
I think he mentioned how he could something about a TNT duper machine. I don't know if that one was legit. He did like embellishing stuff sometimes. Although I will tell you one thing, this man had some balls of steel on him. Okay, you see, me and Billy both went to this private school, right? And it was Catholic mostly because my parents wanted me to go to a good school, right, and not get in public school, right? Yes. And on the last day, since he was the equivalent to basically last year there. On the last day, right, he wore an I Heart Public School shirt on there. Goddamn, that man is a hero.
What a lad. What a dude.
I don't know where he is right now. Probably going to the moon a bit.
Yeah, have you had any more recent experiences on Tubi?
I remember I had like a short time of like a re-interest when I heard like popular MMOs apparently rejoin play on the server. I joined most of the same stuff. I did actually meet a nice guy who tried to give me armor. Except I'm pretty sure I opened his a shulker box, which I'm pretty sure he interpreted as hostility, and he ran me down.
Huh.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Back in 2018, when I joined because of Ant Venom,
right?
Popular MMOs was on the server as I was recording my first video on there.
It's like seeing popular MMOs on 2b2t is like seeing like the guy who like
didn't
runs...
he get arrested?
Did he? No way, I don't believe that. Popular MMOs could surely popular MMOs arrested surely. Oh no. Oh wait, what? What? No way.
I think we can talk. We can talk about it after the podcast. But I don't know what he got arrested for. We can figure that out later.
Like seeing popular MMOs or hearing about how popular MMOs played on 2b2t is like as a kid like hearing that like the guy Steve from Blue's Clues drinks like every day or some stuff like that.
Oh no.
It's like a side to like a kid-friendly YouTuber you never thought you'd see.
I mean, he is an adult, so...
Yeah, it's fair.
Okay, let me talk about my experience. So,
all right.
How I figured out about 2E2T because of Ant Venom. He made a really nice video about it, and I was like, I guess I'll check it out.
Right.
And then I hopped on my alt account, to just scope out things, because I had an idea, because a very, very small YouTuber at the time. I was like, I want some video ideas, and so I was like, I could do my first time on 2B2T as a YouTube video, Vanilla Incursion Challenge. I don't know what the fuck I came up with. I just thought it was a cool idea to make it a challenge of timing how long you would last until you fucking died from the very start of you joining the server. While in vanilla, that's why I said Vanilla Incursion, and it was the Incursion because it was Ant Venom. But basically, I scoped out on my alt account, got up to some trees. I think I saw some burnt down trees from Fitz stream from earlier of that day, where he was like with his posse and burning shit down.
Right.
And then I hopped on my main, played on there, recorded my first edited video. Actually, was that.
Huh.
When I first used iMovie, that was the first one that I started cutting things in editing. The audio sucked, though, because there was a fan from my computer constantly running. You could see a few pinwheels here and there in that video on accident.
Evil pinwheel, you know?
Yeah. I forgot to cut them out, but they're very... You won't notice them unless you pay attention, which is good. But I fucking... Okay, Popular MMOs was online while I was doing that. But then I also died because I walked into an unloaded chunk.
Oh, God.
And I just slowly phased through the ground as I was walking around and suffocated to death.
You no-clipped.
Yeah, it was... And that's like the number one lesson that I've learned from Tubi is, like, just don't walk into an unloaded chunk.
Don't do that IRL. You'll get no-clipped into the back rooms IRL.
No!
Imagine if you could no-clip IRL. What secrets could we discover underneath the map, bro?
But after that, I started just walking around, exploring, finding these like smaller bases that have been destroyed out, and I started making videos about those, calling them 2B2T findings, which I honestly, it was a nice video series for what it was. I think the idea was very nice, but how it was executed was very poorly because it was just showing screenshots of the base, and I was me talking over it, which I feel like if I had better equipment, I would have definitely, and like if I knew what I was doing, I would have definitely recorded the base and explored around it and talk about it as I was exploring it. But on one of those videos, actually, the infamous griefer Jared2013 commented on my video and said that I sounded like him at the time. And I was like, holy shit, is this the real Jared2013? Went to his YouTube channel. Sure enough, it was. And I heard his voice. And I was like, holy shit, I do kind of sound like him. But he's just older than I am. Because I was very young at the time. But that comment's no longer there because his YouTube account was deleted or something. But yeah, I can safely say that I got Jared2013 to comment on one of my videos.
My pinnacle achievement of life.
That is not my pinnacle achievement of 2B2T shit. I'm about to get to that in just a moment.
My greatest achievement.
Let me explain my first group though, because this is the group that got me into anime.
I'm interested. Very interested.
Okay, so I was in FitMC's Discord server before it became privated, sort of, and then I left it on accident. But now I'm back in it. But it's been publicized now because he wanted to partner with Discord. But back when earlier in FitMC's Discord, I was hanging out in VC and just talking to these dudes. We were talking about like nuclear shit or whatever.
Right.
And then we were like, hey, do we want to start a group together? We've got nothing better to do. And we were like, yeah, let's do that. And so we just started that group. There was a couple people who already knew each other in there. And so we established it. It was not a very significant group. It was just a very small group for fun. We called it Seven Deadly Sins. And because of that, we were each different sins. I was greed. I was the greed sin. I didn't really do... We were trying to go for the idea of we have to be our sin, but I don't think that really ended up that well. But
how do you do gluttony?
I don't know. The guy who was gluttony, though, he had an anime. He had a profile picture of the clothing alien thing from Kill La Kill. And I was, and that's how I figured out about that show. And then I also watched Seven Deadly Sins, which was the name of the anime because that was the name of the 2B2T group, and I was like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And then I later on watched Full Metal Alchemist and realized, oh, this is what this other person's profile picture was based off of, because they were prideful, and had, like, the eyes of the prideful guy from Full Metal Alchemist. Whatever the fuck. It was a lot of stuff. Prideful, his name was literally Prideful. That's what we call him. He had a YouTube channel, and he made some, like, awesome videos. But he just, like, it was his 2B2T stuff, and then he stopped after he stopped playing 2B2T, because he probably was busy with real life. I don't know. I have not kept up with any of these people at all. They're gone to history for at least online with me. But we made like a first desert outpost in the middle of this desert, and then we moved thousands of blocks further and made our first official base, which took me a while to get there because I only had worst client, which was it's not a very good client. I should have learned about Impact, but again, this was earlier in the day, so less safe to download shit. But then, our first base we called Salsa Party, which was nice, and I made a couple videos about that, talk about it. That was griefed, I think, by some, I don't know, maybe like a VoCo or Imperium guy. I don't know. Our base was compromised, and then they had like another base that they did, but I never joined that one because I just couldn't, and I was busy doing stuff in real life because I was busy with school and whatnot. And then our group kind of disbanded. During the end of it, though, while I was on my hiatus, a good friend of mine now joined the group, and he stuck around for a while, and then he did some YouTube stuff, and I was like, hey, you wanna hang out? And he was like, yeah. He, as some people might know him, is Joe Boney. Mr. Joe Boney. Joseph Boner. I met
Boner.
Mr. Joseph Boner. I met from 2B2T. And now he's one of my online friends. So yeah, we don't talk as much, but it's still, he's chill. He hangs out in my Discord. It's very nice.
That's good. I
should have invited him to come on and say a couple things. Let me at him real quick.
All right.
I want to see if we can get him to talk a little bit. While we're waiting for Mr. Joseph Boner, hopefully he'll come. Probably not. He might be busy. It's fine though. I'll tell him to listen to the podcast later, and he might appreciate the what we're talking about. But one more thing that I wanted to share is that I joined South C1's Discord server.
Right.
And while I was in South C1's Discord server, one day in early 2020, January, I was just hanging out in the VC with this dude named Coat. And this Coat dude, he and I got along. And we were just chilling, talking to each other. And then one of the moderators of Sal's Discord were in the other VC. And one of them hopped into our VC and was like, okay, you have a minute to think about a good pickup line. If we like your good pickup line, then we'll drag you into our call. And then he left. Coat easily got into there. He thought of a good one and got into the VC. I, on the other hand, panicked and couldn't think of jack shit. And so I really quickly DM'd my real-life friend and asked him, quick, give me a good pickup line. And then he, like the great friend that he was, he gave me a good pickup line. And then when they dragged me into their call, they asked me to say the pickup line. And I was like, hey girl, are you a Minecraft seed? Because you make my whole world. And then I was able to stay. Now, this is good because I could just hang out and chill with the moderators. The moderators there are pretty fun. But then after a while, Baron Dome joined the call. He's like the smaller. He's one of the smaller 2B2T YouTubers. He joined the call. He hung out for a while, And then the moderators eventually were like, "We want to play Hot Mindplex. Should we get Ant Venom into the call?"
Yeah, just airdrop Obama into the chat, you know?
They airdropped Ant Venom into the call. Ant Venom joined the call, and then we all tried playing Mindplex. I managed to get in a Mindplex party with Ant Venom for 5 minutes. But then we couldn't figure out jack shit because it was a little bit chaotic.
Man.
And then eventually, so we didn't get to play any minigames, by the way. But eventually Sal joined the call. And then Sal and Ant Venom were like, "Oh, we got to talk about something." And then they left. That was when Ant Venom left and talked to Sal about his ex's adventures video, which finding the seed to that, because at the time that was like the prime of them trying to figure out the seed to pack.png.
Right.
And so, I don't know. I was there for. It was just fucking fun. I have a screenshot of that. I'm actually gonna put that on the video of me in the call. I was previously called TB, so I'm the guy named TB in the screenshot. I'll also put a couple screenshots of us in like me with Baron Dome and Ant Venom in Mindplex.
Actually, what would you consider to be your crowning achievement in game in Minecraft?
I don't know. I think my crowning achievement is I posted my artwork of a Ravager back when it was called an Illager beast.
Right.
On Reddit. It got 300 upvotes around there. And then Mr. Lead Developer of Minecraft, Jens Bergensten, Jeb, tweeted about my artwork.
Say, do you happen to have that artwork on hand, actually?
I have that artwork on hand. I have to grab it, though. I'll probably put a screenshot of the artwork, too. And of the tweet. Oh, there's a lot of stuff.
Is it like a realistic drawing? Is it like stylized? How is it drawn?
I stylized it to be a realistic version of the Ravager.
Ah, I see.
Kind of like I was very much inspired by Grendel from Beowulf.
Grendel from Beowulf?
Yeah.
Huh. Say, how do you interpret a Ravager? Like in your personal interpretation of one?
I initially envisioned it to have hands, but now that I paid attention to what the texture looks like, I think it has hooves.
I kind of actually I think GLaDOS did a little drawing of a Ravager. I kind of interpret it as like basically just like a human head, like just with horns, just like sloppily attached to a rhino body.
I think in my initial drawing too, I envisioned it with fur, but when I paid attention to the texture, it looks more like skin.
Yeah.
Oh damn!
So, like, imagine having a giant, like, if I'm correct, the Ravager's head is like about as tall as like maybe like like 2 blocks tall, approximately, like 1.5 blocks tall. So there's like a 4-foot tall head with like a human head approaching you. And it's already terrifying enough to think about. It's like one of those things you don't really realize.
That is terrifying. I definitely imagine the nose to be a lot larger, though.
Fair. Because the thing is, Ravagers, I think, would probably be carnivorous, which is the worst part.
They have teeth. They have sharp teeth.
And front-facing eyes.
Yeah. How do you think 2B2T influenced how we play Minecraft nowadays?
Let me think. With 2B2T, I learned a lot more about like the potential that like redstone can have, like I guess applied redstone, like outside the feet, like of farms and stuff, like redstone flying machines, bombing machines. Actually, a lot of redstone combat use actually as well.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I've learned about with 2B2T, it actually got me like learning more about hacked clients. Because I thought the extent of hacks could only be like, I don't know, maybe like duplicating items and stuff.
Dude, when I was a kid, I fucked around with hacks and didn't give a fuck about whether or not I got banned from a server. I just wanted to have fun playing around with them.
Certified bad lad. I think anything else that I've learned from the oldest Anarchy server in Minecraft.
The oldest Anarchy server. I've gotten a comment on one of my videos that told me that I sound like a young fit MC. The oldest Anarchy server in Minecraft. I don't think I do.
I wait a few years before maybe you'll become fit MC.
Double pop bomb! Double pop bomb!
No way, no way. Double pop bomb?
No way, double pop bomb! Holy shit!
Wait, what is Pop Up doing at the Library of Alexandria, eh?
Pop bomb, what are you doing in my car? Watch out, Fit MC! Pop bomb's right behind you!
No!
No!
IRL. Oh god. IRL griefer.
Oh no. It's like a image of Fit MC meeting the people from SMP Live, and he's just and then Fit MC is like, watch out, Fit, or the image is like, watch out, Fit MC, Pop Bob's right behind you. It's just the Minecraft character of Pop Bob just standing there menacingly. Standing there menacingly.
Would IRL lava casting be just like pouring hot concrete over someone's house?
I don't know. Maybe.
It's like one of those things that like there's no real life parallel to it.
How Minecraft is, or how 2b2t has affected me nowadays, I can never get over the fact that end crystals are literally one of the most powerful weapons to use.
Oh yeah. They like beforehand I just thought they like funny floating rock, right? But now just fear.
Fear of, haha, you don't want to touch it. Touch it, go boom.
It's like nitroglycerin. You touch it weird and it blows your
They're
fingers
air
off.
landmines. That's what they are.
Basically.
Air landmines. I've never made that comparison. Holy shit.
Very, very dumb idea. What if you fly into a end crystal with an elytra, you explode?
Oh.
So then you can have like a reason to actually place them above your base. Maybe you want to like take out phantoms before they like dive bomb at you or something.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
I'll actually write that down. That could be fun.
I don't know. Flying, how would you detect a flying entity as opposed to a standing entity?
Maybe like a certain
or
speed
an
point?
entity that has just jumped.
Huh. I'd assume something like speed, perhaps. Or maybe like wearing elytra, yes or no. And then
I don't know, elytra is like, phantoms could be really slow at some points.
Fair. I don't know, maybe they just explode when phantoms are around.
Yeah, fuck those phantoms. Me and my homies hate
Damn,
phantoms.
pterodactyl.
I think there's definitely room to improve some already existing mobs in Minecraft.
Definitely.
Like rabbits, polar bears,
Yeah.
phantoms.
I mean, my question is, what could you do with polar bears to make them better, though? Like, they're simple. Make them maul mobs that get near their kids.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You could use it as like an
similar to like the goat, but
kinda.
that was kind of
like a more active goat or like a more acquirable zoglin.
Fair. That'd be fair. That's a good idea, but I feel like there should be something else that makes it more lively, you know?
Lively. Let me think.
Watch, like, one of these 2b2t players are gonna get the idea of abusing the fucking hack once it is available for exploiting the feature of the polar bear that we come up with in some way. It's like, oh, we're gonna use it to make this insane lag machine.
Hear me out.
With polar bears.
What if polar bears could like actually hunt like food down, right? Because polar bears have a disturbingly fast swim speed. Like they're the same swim speed as pyres, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So maybe they could like occasionally dive down underwater to grab fish and stuff.
Oh, that'd be interesting. I like that. And that's sort of like the piglins, how they occasionally hunt the hoglins.
Right.
I like that. Sculk Vibes becomes a brainstorming session. Thank you, Lux, who is currently listening to our stage in my Discord. By the way, you can join my Discord if you would like to hear this live.
What is your idea?
Like, 2b2t is a pretty ideal server that I really love because of the history. That's kind of the main enticement of the server, right? It's the map that stays the same over the years. And then all these different people join and leave and create their own quote-unquote history.
Right.
Though it's very not so... it's homophobic.
Yeah. That's 2b2t.
Lots of homophobic shit. Lots of other stuff. Lots of people. Not the best server.
Yeah.
Like, I love it for its quirks, but I hate it for its not so good shit, which you kind of have to tolerate or ignore while playing on there.
I'm trying to think. What is my ideal server? You know Origin Realms, right?
Yeah.
Imagine that, but like within like a more friend group type scenario. Basically, like 40 to 30, 60 people playing on one massive server that's like basically imagine a basic community server except with more features.
Like custom stuff, like how they've done it within vanilla. You just using resource packs and commands and shit.
Yeah, a mix of that, or hell, maybe even abnormals mods for a more easy route.
I wish modded servers were more optimized, or like could just. It would be like I wish modded servers were more popular in the sense of like they just worked better, you know? Like people would be more inclined to play on those. I don't know. It's hard to find those types of things.
Man,
especially with modded stuff.
Man, like how I've been searching for like so long for like a community server. I found one recently, but like I don't know how much time I spent looking for like a server that I could find a community in. I have found one, thankfully.
I'm also looking for one. That's kind of why I've been applying to all these different SMPs, because I kind of want to do content at the same time while having a good server to play on, because it would just be convenient and fun, and just it would make me a lot more relaxed than what I am right now. But my ideal server that I would have if I had the resources to do it, I'm not going to say. I'm just kidding. Nobody steal my idea, please. It's such a good idea that I really want to execute. Unless you'd be down to help run the idea, that'd be kind of pog. But basically, I want to run a hardcore Minecraft server.
Right.
And basically, how it would work is that once you've joined and once you have died, you cannot respawn or like pay money to respawn or anything. You are banned from the server once you have died.
Right.
And if you join on your alt or your hacking, you would also get banned. But that's more of a thing, an issue that I would have to sort out during the actual thing than early on, you know. But the idea is that people can create their own history while playing on this server, and they only have one life, and like it would it would be so interesting because it's like how you would have to approach things normally in hardcore, but with several people. Like you have to worry about other people attacking your base or whatever, and like you get to have funerals for other people that have died in war or in battle. Just the history that you might make with this server idea sounds so enticing to me. Like I love the idea. And it's like a public server too. I found one server and it's not very popular, but the only problem that I have with it is that it resets its world, right?
Right.
I think the people that have died should. Maybe I would also do resetting with my version of that server too, just to keep up with updates. But the people who have survived get to continue playing on the server on the new world. Obviously, that server that I've been playing on recently, it doesn't have coordinates enabled, so it's very fucking hard to figure out where you're at. I don't know if I like that idea or if I don't like that idea.
God, that sounds painful.
But I've been playing on there with like another friend of mine, and we've just had to figure out where the hell we are around the spawn area and like use compasses to locate spawn and like get lodestone compasses to find our way back to our home. But that wouldn't really be my ideal server. Like it's very close to what I imagined that I would really love, but it's not what I exactly want. Anyways, the candles are starting to dim and the sound of footsteps are near, meaning it's time for us to go.
But before we do, don't forget that you're able to check us out on Spotify and our YouTube channel for our podcast.
Thanks for listening. Have a good one, guys.
This is your host, Deonsu. Out.